Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rooted Coop channel. Today we're going to be making a pure liquid Castile soap using just 4 ingredients. We're going to be using olive oil, distilled water, potassium hydroxide or KOH, and we're going to be adding vegetable glycerin. Liquid Castile soap is very versatile, gentle, and a natural cleanser that is perfect for so many uses around your home. So let's dive in. In my pot, I have already measured my 16 ounces of olive oil, and I have that heating. I will next be doing my potassium hydroxide and my distilled water. And then I will be adding that into my olive oil mixture, and I'm going to go ahead and add in my glycerin now just so it can be mixed in and heated as well, so that way we can have it all blended together. So right now I'm just getting everything set up and everything prepared. So I have my 5.6 ounces of distilled water and my potassium hydroxide. I have 3.2 ounces. And these are in like the little flakes, so I just wanted to show y'all what those look like up close. And I'm just going to slowly add those into my water. A little history about Castile soap is it originates in the Castile region of Spain and is traditionally made using 100% olive oil. It's gentle, all natural, and can be used for hand washing, body care, cleaning surfaces, and even washing your pets. Because it's free of harsh chemicals, it's a wonderful option for sensitive skin. And I'm using the crock pot, a stick blender. I have my container here that is heat safe for mixing my lye solution. I used a scale. I do have a thermometer and of course my gloves and goggles. Looks like my lye solution is about 140, 142, somewhere in there. So give it a stir and let it all come to a close temperature. I like to be about 10 or so degrees between the two. So I think that we're right there at that mark. And of course I have my crock pot on low. And I'm not using but just the 16 ounces of oil, so it's pretty shallow in this crock pot. Okay, so I have added my lye water solution into my olive oil. And I'm just going to give it a quick stir with the spatula. And I'm going to use the stick blender to just bring this to trace. Here's the vegetable glycerin that I had pulled up for this. I'm going to be adding 1.5 ounces of the vegetable glycerin into this, and I just wanted to go ahead and add it in now so it can go through the process with it to kind of help with bringing it all together, and that way too it would already be incorporated into my soap paste once it's all complete. I'm just going to tip that up just a little bit because again there wasn't a whole lot of room in the bottom of there, so I wanted to be sure and get my stick blender all the way down in there to make sure I could mix it all together well. Gonna scrape down my sides, and then I'm going to put the lid back on and let it continue to cook, and I will be checking on it every 15 minutes or so to just kind of see what the progress is. I put on these big gloves because the crock pot was hot, so that way I could, since I was going back and forth checking on it. But yeah, every 15 minutes or so I come and give it a stir. I go ahead this first round and I use my stick blender to just kind of make sure it is all incorporated. Show you on the screen every 15 minutes what it looked like when I came in to give it a stir. And that way you can see the progression of the soap paste forming. You can see it definitely thickening up. So I just give it a stir and make sure and try to scrape as much of it back down as I can, and then let it cook for another 15. I'll speed some of these up so that way y'all can still see the progression of it and maybe it won't take as long. It's not quite turned fully translucent yet, but it is sure getting close to that. Almost like a Vaseline phase is starting to form in it. I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer. Okay, so I believe we're getting close to the end here. I just pulled a little bit of this soap out. I'm going to do a zap test on this. I was going to do the pH test strips, and for whatever reason, I have recently been rearranging out in my soap shed, and I have put them someplace safe, and I cannot find them. So I will get some more ordered, but I did the zap test on this. Everything's fine. I'm adding in water right now. This is distilled water, and it's 1 part of paste to 2 parts of water. So I'm putting in, right now I'm adding in 32 ounces of water. I'm going to go ahead and leave my crock pot on low for just a little bit to heat that water up to help thin this out a little bit. And I'll just give it a stir here so it can start dissolving this soap paste down into our beautiful liquid soap. You could have waited and added the glycerin here at this stage as well, but I wanted to add it in at the beginning because it was really cold, and that way it would be warm and just cook through the process, and to kind of help simplify everything for me. So right now it's just kind of blobby looking and very messy. So I'm just going to let this stay in the crock pot for a little bit. I am going to leave it on and cook it I let it cook for about 15 more minutes. I don't know that it was necessary, but I wanted to get my water and my soap paste, give it some time to come to the correct temperature. I just thought it would make it a little bit easier to dilute this down. And I'm just going to spritz it with some alcohol to get rid of all of the bubbles. And then I'm going to turn my crock pot off and let this sit. And I'll come back in probably about an hour and check on it. And then I ended up leaving it overnight. But you can see that the soap paste is starting to dilute down into the water, but there's still a lot of these chunks. And I'm leaving in this part of it just so you can kind of see the messy side of it as well. Okay, it has thickened up a lot. All of the water is just about diluted. And so I'm going to need to add some more water into this. And I'm just stirring in some more water. Again, using the distilled water, I'm going to try to stir some of it in to start thinning this out, using the back of the spoon too, just to kind of thin those clumps down to help it formulate into that water just a little easier. And I ended up coming back out and checking on that about an hour later, and I used my stick blender to finish getting those clumps that was remaining blended together, and then I let it sit overnight. And so then this is the next day, so it's had all night to sit, and I did not record the part of me using the stick blender, so my apologies for that. I was running back and forth trying to check on things, and I was out there and I thought, oh, let me just get this done, and then I realized that I didn't film it for you guys, so I am truly sorry. So here's what the liquid soap looks like the next day. I'm just going to pour it out of my crock pot into this container, and then from here it's ready to use. I'll need to add fragrance if I want fragrance in it, which is what I'm planning to do, is to make up some for my kitchen and some for my bathroom, and I'll add different fragrances to it and add a preservative, and then it will be all good to go. Okay, so I'm getting ready to mix up a soap dispenser for my house, and I'm going to add in some of this soap, and then I'm going to add my fragrance and my preservative in and give it a stir. So now that your soap is fully diluted and cooled, you can transfer it to bottles or jars for storage. The soap is going to last for months, and as long as it's stored in a clean, airtight container. It has various purposes for hand washing, cleaning, pet shampoo. It's very versatile, and it can also be used as a gentle body wash, natural cleaner for your house, even as a base for DIY products like foaming hand soap or dish soap. It's biodegradable, eco-friendly, and perfect for those with sensitive skin. Alright, I just want to say thank you guys for joining me today as we made our pure liquid Castile soap. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the Rooted Coop channel. Be sure and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future tutorials. As always, stay clean, stay creative, and stay rooted. Bye for now, y'all.